Thanks a lot. I will take my other glasses, but I have only 2 different glasses. And when it is not enough, may I ask you to give me another one? So the older I get, the more difficult it is. Yeah, from darkness to the light. Thanks for the wonderful piece of music I could listen to at the very beginning. And I don't know what have been your thoughts during this piece of music. My thoughts were together with the refugees regarding the darkness in the Mediterranean Sea, in Calais. When I come here with my car tonight, I could listen to a report of Calais, and I think it's a disastrous situation. And I really hope, and I think with you all together, that the light will come to all these people, as the darkness is quite bad enough. Yeah, these refugees, do you know what the German discussion is for the refugees which come to Germany? That we need them regarding demographic reasons. And also that young people who are able to speak a little bit German, that they are offered to learn completely German, and that enterprises are going to them and ask them if they would like to participate in the education in a so-called dual system. And this is the subject now for the 2 or 2.5 days. Then you have chosen a very popular subject in Europe at the moment, and I think in every country, especially in the southern European countries, this subject is on the top. And I think it is interesting to tell you that ETSA is busy with that subject about 2.5 years. We started with it due to the fact of the high rate of unemployment of young people, but that was, of course, not the only reason. The members of ETSA, they felt very, very responsible to look for this bad situation and for a better solution. It is not, it cannot be that so many young people in Europe are without a job. That means without a perspective for their life. It is a very important question for them, and we have to look for solutions. And meanwhile, as there are many, many actors in Europe, many, many companies, many governments also who are working together, and also the trade unions, but not that much as it should be. So, we are working on it also, and we see a small light at the horizon that it will be better, and we hope it is not only a flashlight. We could learn that the quality of education in Europe differs a lot, and participating in a dual system related to the vocational education training means half of the time you are at school and half you are working in an enterprise, in a company or in a shop, etc. It would be very interesting to know who of you could manage also such a dual system in your country. You have to sign a contract as an employee with your employer, and that makes it also interesting, as I said, for trade unions. We have to do with an employee in that moment. It's another situation as if such a young person is only going to school. The dual system has a long tradition in countries like Austria, Switzerland, and Germany. And these are countries with the lowest unemployment rates. We should think about it. it's important to offer to the youth a basic education in which enables them to have more chances on today's modern labor market. I mean a basic education, not a specific education only, where you are running in one street and you don't have so much possibilities to find a job. A basic education, which is much broader than a specific one. This you can't reach by internships, also not by doing many of them. And very often it finds favor with the employers to have a job after the apprenticeship, let's say, if enough jobs are there. This is, of course, the biggest problem, that we don't have enough jobs today. It is an open system, this dual system, which brings you also to higher education. For example, an academic profession. It is not a stop after finishing this vocational education training for a special profession. You can go afterwards to the university. You have a lot of possibilities. And it is, of course, a mistaken attitude to postmark vocational education training as a negative image. This we could learn in many, many countries. For example, in Portugal. They told us, the minute of vocational education is not that good. It is not the second chance, it is the third chance. And regarding this, when parents say to their children, you should go for studying, many, many students were there with an academic way without finding a job today. And they have closed all these vocational educational schools. They have to start from zero from the very beginning. And this is, of course, very difficult, as the dual system needs time to be established. It will not function from today till tomorrow. Another point, of course, is also very important, as we could listen nearly in all the seminars that schools, the pupils, the students at school are not trained well, are not trained in that way that it is suitable for the companies, for the enterprises. And therefore, to train qualified trainers is one of the most important key elements. Otherwise, it is not suitable that what one has learned and the needs of the companies, as that what I tried to explain. Yeah, a short look to the European Union. Within the European Union, one will reach a comparable education system, but the European Union does not have that much influence on education. It's a matter of the member states, and they are very often of the counties. You know, in Germany, 16 counties, 16 different educational systems which have to come together. And this is not that easy. But from the European perspective, it is a so-called soft law, and therefore a voluntary cooperation has to be implemented. What is Europe doing in this situation? They are giving a lot of money for the youth guarantee, for the European Social Fund, that projects in each country can be established to improve the situation. And of course, they have a European agency for vocational education training. It is CDFOP. It is located in Thessaloniki in Greece. And their task is to take from the 28 countries the systems and compare that and give later on, when they have advised the European Commission, that they go into the countries and look for a comparative situation, more or less. It is very, very difficult. And what is also very important is to improve the situation as a whole. This vocational education training is a part of the European semester. That means every year each country has to send a report to the Commission with the progress on that subject. And then they have to discuss together what they will do as a next step. So it is a monitoring system which is also very important, which is running. Only when you think about all these many young people, students of course, but also others, who take advantage of the mobility programs. So if there is an engineer in Spain, very well educated, very well trained, but he cannot find a job in Spain, but in Germany or in France or in Scandinavia, they are looking for them. And so it is an element to bring Europe closer together as well. Of course, the main aspect in that case is to learn the language at first. This is a priority. But we, from our Christian point of view, I would like to point out also the importance of the values in education. Education should be guided by values. Is this the case today? What are your experiences regarding this? Education should form a person, and I come back to your jobs which you have. Education is the word which we have from Great Britain, from America, but the French people, they have the expression formation. And always when I meet this expression, formation, I think about Auguste Rodin as a sculptor. When you remember his figures, his forms, then you know that he forms also the social attitude in the bodies he has created. Social skills are also very important in our daily life. Today we are often far away from this, very far away. Politicians, economics are thinking only in technical spheres. What will be needed on the labor market today? I think this is not enough. Due to the crisis, budgets for education, that is what Lene has said before, they are very often cut by politicians, and this is very highly counterproductive. It will widen the gap between the countries, between high and low economics and trade, and we as trade unions have to fight for a qualified education system. A qualified training system is economically crucial for a country. For this, skilled labor is necessary, and skilled labor comes from a good vocational education system. The one is not possible without the other, it is a circle. And with regard to your sector of arts, you have many, many, many sectors we could see, or I could see it already tonight, 2 of them. It seems to me as a layperson that you have chosen your job in order to be creative, mainly with your hands, with your voice, with your body, with your brains, with your feelings, with your soul. And the time spending for education regarding the dual system is a mixture between theory and these practical elements. It should be addressed to your dictum, which means that art creates new thinking. That should be the goal and the result, and I think that you are aware about this very well. The strengths of the dual system, that is what I would like to express. It's an anchor in practice. It's a liaison between public authorities on the one hand side, for example, the legislative bodies, vocational schools, and on the other hand of the private enterprises. It is an expensive system for the state. Nevertheless, that has to be a remark beside my short speech. But regarding your jobs, in Germany we have the dual system in background artists, stage designers, photographs. We have it in design of visual marketing, in the profession of goldsmiths, makeup artists, music specialized retailers, and technical product designers. and maybe several more. That is what I could learn via internet, via the Bundesagentur für Arbeit, when I have had a special look where the dual system is also important for your professions. A lot of skills are trained during the so-called dual system. Next to craft work and design, it is mainly IT knowledge. And what I would like to express that finally at the end, I think we are all aware about the fact that education plays one of the biggest roles in our lives. Education, or formation, is a movement, and when you stop, you are going backwards. That means when all of us are stopping, we are going backwards. And this is not our direction for the future. I wish you a very fruitful seminar with intensive discussions and fruitful recommendations. Maybe finally at the end to send also something as outputs of this seminar to the European Commission, to convince them about the importance of the artists. Thanks a lot.